So I started selling on eBay in 2004 while I worked on Wall Street. So between getting screamed at by traders, I sold all kinds of products on eBay. And I remember back then they said, "Is it too late to do e-commerce?" It's too late. I got sold into e-commerce at like a Make Money Online conference I saw on my Yahoo Mail. And it says, "Free lunch. Learn how to sell online." In Holiday Inn in 34th Street, Manhattan. So Saturday afternoon, I went for free lunch with my roommate. I was like, "Will we get a free lunch?" We thought we were so smart. We're like, "I'm not going to get sold. I know they're going to sell me something. I'm not going to get sold. Just get the free lunch and I'm going to get out of there." But I got sold. Well, actually, we escaped, but we're walking down 34th Street, going back to our apartment on Murray Hill. And we're like, "This sounds like expensive." It was like $3,000. And you get a merchant account, a web shopping cart solution. You get the CDs in the mail about PPC on Overture. And we're like, we probably could save money and do it somewhere else, but we're both busy. We both had our jobs. We're like, let's just go back. So we go back to the Holiday Inn, and we go upstairs, and they're folding chairs and tables. And they were like, "You're back? You escaped and you came back and you're willingly getting sold?" But we signed up and we did drop shipping at first. And the story was I couldn't find products I wanted to drop ship that drop shipped. So I started buying from a Florida supplier. He's like, "We don't drop ship." I'm like, "Okay, but you can ship to me, right?" "Yeah, we can ship to you. You've got a wholesale account with us." So I would ship from Florida to my apartment in Murray Hill, and they would put a sticker on the door, "UPS, we came, but you didn't answer because we worked." So I had to go to the Hell's Kitchen in the West Side at night to pick up the boxes, and then I would send it to the customer. And it was like, we said 5 to 7 day delivery on our eBay, because we spent 2-day shipping UPS from Florida to New York, and then 2-day shipping to the customer. And we lost so much money. But we did that on purpose because we wanted to see what people would buy, because we had like 400 products. So then we dropped more than half and we stocked the ones that sold. And then we became the competitor to the Florida company and then bought from his supplier in India. That's a quick little story. I bought from India, China, Thailand. It was a school of hard knocks, for sure. I had no idea what I was doing. But today we'll talk about branding. I'll be over here for the conference, so you can there's so much to cover, and I hope you can see and hear me. But this is evergreen, right? This is evergreen. It's one of my favorite words, is evergreen. It means, like we said, stand the test of time. I like to create things that I don't need to keep pushing every day. I don't like to do push marketing. I love inbound marketing. I love SEO. I love being ranked in Google, ranked in Amazon. I guess maybe it's some lazy, but I don't like to kind of repeat myself. I write long blogs. I write long form product descriptions. I document things my wife says and show it to her later when she says she didn't say that. I document, and that way I can get inbound traffic that will get sales and maybe save a divorce. So, okay, I'll stop this jokes. There's too many women in here. I don't want to get in trouble. But everybody...
I'm recording this for her. Go ahead.
Okay. Everybody knows that guy. So one of his famous quotes, Jeff Bezos, is, "Your brand is what people say when you're not in a room." So I'm going to go out and they're like, "Oh, that's the guy that documents what his wife says." So that's what you guys are going to remember me for, right? The guy that saves his marriage by documenting. But it's true, like whether it's a person, a product, a service, it's what people say when you are not there. Because everybody can say what they want about themselves, but other people care what other people say about you, not what you say about yourself. So whether it's your product brand or your service brand or yourself, it's your personal brand, your product brand. It's what are you in? A brand is also like a cow. Like that's what a brand is, right? It's you brand your cow, right? In India, I'm sure the farmers branded cows, so that's my cow. You're branding someone's brain to remember your brand. You want to be top of mind. I think the way you try to play the Amazon game is, my measurement of a real brand is how many people are searching your brand name. And I have a few brands I'll share. But one of my favorite KPIs is how much people are searching by my brand name. Not the product name, but my brand name. That's what I see as brand value, brand equity. People are searching for your product. Because your competitor, yeah, they can do PPC on your brand name, but they can't say they're you legally, right? They can advertise on your keyword, but they can't say they're you. Only you are you, legally. So that's the real value of a brand. So this is a brand I built and sold. I do a lot publicly. I like to share what I do, mostly publicly. Most Amazon sellers don't like to do that. I think it does more, but I believe it does more positive than negative. Give me a review on Amazon if you can. No. But I mean, I don't give me a 1 star. And this is the latest one. I was talking about it. I'm sourcing myself for some products for this brand. It's called Excalibur Brothers. So it's men's gifts. And I'll get into it later. But I love to build content and communities. And this is what a brand is to me. On top of the brands, I'm also working on a new blockchain project called LoadPipe, which is, some of you were yesterday talking about getting banned on Etsy or banned on other platforms. I'm working on a blockchain-based solution for marketplaces to be able to transact openly. And if you're banned, you'd be able to go to something called a DAO and talk to the community about why you were banned to try to resolve it as a group of people rather than a Web 2 versus Web 3. I don't want to get into too much, but it's a new startup. We're just getting started, and we're escaping to the blue sea. So today, we got lots to cover. The mindset, idea generation, funnels, attributions, paid ads a little bit, examples, an opportunity for you that I thought I would just share to the attendees today, and of course Q&A. So mindset. I think mindset's important, right? We don't just get into the tactics. I'll give you a lot of tactics, but I think you should think about, are you thinking the right way? Is your brain prepared to do what you need to do to succeed? So what is a brand? We talked a little bit about branding a cow and what Jeff Bezos says, but I think it's food. Food for a community. You're feeding people, right? It's about people. It's about people. You're feeding this audience. And if you don't have food and you don't have content, you don't have a brand. A lot of people think a brand is private label. I buy this vest and I put my brand name in the back, right? And yeah, I mean, I guess you can call that a brand, but the brand is the feeling you get when you're buying it, when you're using it, when you're wearing it. Shani was talking yesterday about how she meets her customers at her events. And she listens to what her customers want. And maybe she doesn't agree or like a certain product, but she knows what they like, and she's making products for them. Right? You're basically serving your customers. You are listening to them and giving them what they want. And it should be a group of people. So it's hard to read, but essentially, the old way was product companies and media companies were totally separate. Right? You would just make your product and you would pay for advertising on like a magazine or a TV show. And then now we're kind of somewhat merging that. We have social media accounts and we're posting blogs and we're posting content and we're making our products. But I think the future is you're seeing more and more of these influencers making their own brands. You're seeing the merge of media and product. People know this guy? Gary Vee? So I got a pleasure to meet him in Hong Kong quickly for a quick picture. But he also talks about that, the merger of commerce and media. And we're all media companies. And it's all of our jobs to create content. And it's no longer you can just make a product and sell a product. You have to make a product and then educate, like what's it? Blinking on you, Vicky? Tracy was saying she's a teacher. And I think that's a great way to build a brand, is by educating people. By teaching people and then selling. Not just directly selling, not just say I make this product, right? We're not factories, we're brands. We're creating and we're sharing and we're feeding people. I think she also called me a feeder yesterday at the dinner. I was feeding her, or not her, but her plate. But that's what I'm trying to do, is serve my audience, serve people. So if you accept this in your mindset and you accept that you're a media company creating media for your products so that people can learn and engage and connect and buy, There's a lot you got to do. It's a lot you got to do. It's not just creating a product. You create the content, maybe work with influencers, paid ads, community building, affiliates, calls to actions. So that's really what you're working on. So like just the other day, I made a video. I had a problem. Amazon lost my shipment, and it was my launch of a new product of these dried flowers, and I screwed up our launch. We paid ads. We had some people do some Vine reviews. We had all this stuff ready. We had blogs, PR releases, but they lost shipment, and it delayed everything. But then I was thinking, let me make this a story. Let me make this positive. Take some negative and make it positive. So I make like a video, say we had a problem, we lost a shipment, but we got a new shipment in. We need your help. Please like DM me. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to give you something. And people are engaging with that. I try to use, I know it's scary for a lot of us to put our face to the brand, but I really think that's one of our best advantages as a smaller business owner, to use our personal brand, because that's really hard for the bigger brands to compete with. A lot of you are starting, and I really think you should try to consider being a little bit more open as your personal brand. Because as a product brand with no face, it's harder to sell. I think it's easier to sell if there's a face to the brand. So I'm not shy. It takes time. I didn't really like, even speaking now, I'm a little bit nervous, even doing podcasts and blogs and vlogs, but I have to put yourself out there. And I think to be a business owner, entrepreneur, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. So I would encourage you to also be willing to photos, videos with you and the product, your story. I think that's your advantage as a small business owner, entrepreneur. So that's some of the mindset and the story, but we're going to get into tactics. I'm worried I don't have enough time, but I'll be here all week. So some tactics. First of all, you got to find out who's your customer. Like when people say, what do I sell? I say men's gifts, right? I think of men's gifts. So Excalibur Brothers is the men's gift brand. So I'm looking at the vest, and I'm thinking like of my target customer as I look at the product. Would they like to buy that? How can I modify that product for that customer? So I think like that when I look at a product. And there's ways to find that out, but you should, as much as you can possibly find out. Anybody know what this is? Avatar. But we're talking about this kind of an avatar today. But it is, I don't even know why they call this avatar, honestly, but avatar. This is one of your first things you should do when you're building your brand, is defining your customer avatar. Who is your target customer? Are they, of course, the easiest is men or women? What age? What demographic? Are they rich? Are they poor? Are they middle class? The more you can think and define them, you actually give them a name. There's worksheets you can find. If you want, I could dig up some of myself. I can just Google it, but I just find a customer avatar worksheet, and they're like some of them are like 10 pages long. It asks you like, what TV shows do they watch? What's their favorite movie? Like, it gets very, very detailed. And it sounds maybe almost stupid, but if you think about it in them, you go to Facebook ads, what does Facebook ask? Facebook asks demographic, men, women, age. You can even target the groups about them. So the more about who you're selling to, the better you can target them and advertise to them and connect with them. So there's definitely worksheets you should try to go through. And I used to think these were so stupid before. Some people give them names and keep them. And maybe you don't have to just have one. You could have 2 or 3 avatars. You can give like one's like Jumping Joe, and maybe Jumping Joe is like a exercise maniac that loves to like exercise and measure everything about himself. And then maybe there's like lazy Larry. And make it fun. And then maybe within your company, within your team, you could talk about these different avatars. Oh, is Lazy Larry going to be the one using this? Or are you making this for Jumping Joe? And I've seen people even in podcasts, they use these avatars throughout their show. Specifically, it's Empire Flippers. And they have all these different avatars of different kinds of investors of their business. And then they're addressing it. Well, we think this business is best for cash flow carry, for example. I forget their names they use. But you should actually not just do this once and put it in your drawer and say you're done. You should try to live this. You should try to really understand these target customers. Like Excalibur Brothers, actually who I think we sell to, it's hard to know really on Amazon, but I think we're selling to women. It's men's gifts. So I think I'm selling to a woman that's looking for a Father's Day gift or a husband's gift or a groomsman's gift. They're looking for it and they're trying to find what the man would like. So That's still my assumption, but the way I see it in a lot of the sales I get, I feel like that, and I see the reviews. They're mostly being gifted. But the more you can understand your customer, the better. And I would say, if you want me to give you one, I can give you a customer avatar worksheet. But they're all over at Google. Just search customer avatar worksheet. Essentially, just going through and finding. You can even give them a picture like this, right? You could get a customer avatar, and I've done this with companies myself. And we print them out and put them on the wall and put a fake photo of the person and really just think about that person. But that's really branding. That's really branding. So the more you can understand who you're selling to, the better you can be. And another quote I say is, especially like in China, I lived in China for 12 years, they all want to have the big brand. They want to be bigger than Apple. They want to be, but then they copy them, right? I forget, like Xiaomi or one of those, they dress like Steve Jobs, right? The guy even dresses like Steve Jobs, does the same keynote as Steve Jobs, has the stores the same as Steve Jobs, but he'll never be better than Steve Jobs. Why? He's following Steve Jobs. He's not leading. He's just copying someone else. So as long as you copy someone else, you're going to be number 2. The way to be number 1 is to follow your customer. If you're copying your competitor, you're going to be second always, because you got to wait for that person to make the next thing, and then you copy the next thing. So you have to understand your customer. And that's one of the weaknesses specifically Chinese have. They don't know the customer in the US. They're in China. Even me, it's hard for me to be connected to my customer. I live in Thailand and China and Asia for so many years. Even I'm losing touch with all the crazy things Americans are doing now. Right? I can't even keep up. Yeah, I need to talk to Lori. What are all these crazy Americans doing now? I can't keep on track. But you got to keep on top of your customer. And that's how you be number 1. Not watching your competitors. Of course, it's not like I don't watch what my competitors do, but I'm not just using my competitors to look at my next product idea. I'm looking at my customer for my next product idea. So that was just some specific tactics, but idea generation is kind of one of my favorite things. So the normal thing you'd watch on a YouTube video is, how do you get product ideas? Read customer reviews of your competitors. It's kind of like a standard thing, right? You search Amazon and you read the negative reviews. And I still do that myself, but I think it's super boring. I get good ideas from it. But I use like a tool. We did this in some workshops before, but I use, this is called Seller Sprite. I have an affiliate link if you want to use it. It's a paid tool. It's similar to like a couple of the other big tools. But one thing I like about it is it reads the Amazon reviews and it gives me this report. And it defines how many are men versus women. Sorry, it's not so clear. You can get the slides. But it's giving you some of the most common feedbacks, positives and negatives. It gives you what kind of uses that they use it for. And I've used this. It's actually really good because my team can use it. Because I have a content writer, and he doesn't know who to write for, or he doesn't know what the differentiating products are to differentiate a product in his listing. We show him this AI report of the competitors' negative reviews and positive reviews, and he's like, oh, okay, now I know, right? So I'm going to talk about a few different AI things today, because we're talking about 2024, so we have to deal with AI. If you're not using AI now, you're going to keep falling behind. So please embrace it. Don't resist it. Another one is answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com is a good free, I think they have a paid version. I've never paid. But basically, you put in a keyword, say your product type or some kind of a theme. Don't get so specific, really broad keyword. And it gives you a report like this that breaks up like this is about solar light. So it gives you all these ideas of what people are asking. And you can write blogs about this, or you can just understand what's the top question in your product category, or your theme, or your keywords. So this is something really effective that I use quite a bit. And then you're starting to build these keywords, these themes. So this is one of our brands called Esato. And Esato, it's actually, I think it's an Italian word. But you make your brand story. So this is my brand story. It's actually two different sections. This is our brand story on Amazon. So that's me in 2003 in Italy. My name is Michelini, and so I do still have Italian family, and I can use those old photos of my trip in Italy on my brand story, that I went to Italy and I was inspired by the Italian taste of products and food, and I wanted to bring that back to America and give to you. And so how it got started, what makes it unique, why we love what we do. And then you have a story. Again, I'm not shy. I mean, I know some of you don't want to put your name or your face, but I put my face on most of the brands. And then some of the other team. But you start to define these values. You start to define why you think you're different than your competitors. And then I love whiteboards. I'd suggest doing a whiteboard, and especially if you're just starting. And start to write these ideas out. Start to write these assumptions out. Start to highlight what's being more commonly noticed. And what are you trying to solve? What problem? Who are you trying to target? It's actually one of my favorite things, like this idea generation. You're just writing down what are people saying, answer to public, what are some of the negative reviews on the feedbacks, what are some of the values you have, why are you trying to do this category? I try to have a reason. And then you're going to make all this stuff. So this is Excalibur Brothers. I can give you these if you'd like, but you should make these. Even back to the QC process. So we have like procedures for our QC. We have our videos. I love videos because I can give it to Indians, Chinese people, Thai people, anybody. They can watch the video of how we package. They can watch the video of how we assemble. But you have your brand voice, your brand book. You'll create all of this around it. And I'll give you all of this. I can show you the link. It's a secret link, but I can give this to you and you can see how we made all of these. But the point is you're trying to be real. You're trying to make a connection with the person through the internet, through online, through a website, through an Amazon listing, through a storefront, through your website. So I've been saying this kind of stuff for years. Try to think of something that will market for yourself. Like Christine and I were talking in the car yesterday, and we're posting in Facebook groups. You try to make a story that's not selling your product. You're trying to engage with the people. You're trying to get them to maybe fill out a survey. I forgot, somebody said it was working well for them, the surveys. But you're actually, at lunch, I had to sneak out. I did a call. And he says, that's what I do that. He says I do that well. Like, I almost sometimes purposely look like I don't want to know what I'm doing just to encourage someone else to make a suggestion to me. Because I don't want to try to, like, dominate, or not dominate, but I want input. I want to hear what people's thoughts and questions are. So I almost purposely like kind of leave things open-ended so that somebody can make a suggestion to me. Or sometimes even put a little bit of a mistake on purpose to let somebody correct it, but you're trying to get engagement. You're trying to get people involved, right? You're trying to talk about something most people are afraid to talk about, that don't want to share, like a secret, like your secrets of your brand, secrets of your business. Document your journey. So I like to do like a weekly update, both myself personally, as well as some of my businesses. Like just today's Monday, we just put our first one out for the load pipe protocol. So I documented our first weekly update, and I made it a blog post. Because I figure out what's to hide. I write the same thing to the team as why not let the people, anybody wants to read it, because they will see what we're doing. So why can't you do this for your brand? I think it's a beautiful story. You came to India, you're trying to find your business, you want to start your own company. Why not use today? Why not start documenting it today? Why not? You're here, you're in India, you want to start your own brand, or you want to grow your brand, or you want to engage your community. Let people come to you. Let them come to you. Let them help you. It works. And it's just a little bit of being a little bit less shy, a little bit vulnerable, a little bit out there. And a lot of people are not willing to do it, right? A lot of people say, I don't want it. But I feel like if you're willing to do it, you'll have higher chances of succeeding without spending lots of advertising. Because advertising is more and more expensive. More and more expensive. So you got to do stuff that's free and that people want to share. And then maybe in that Facebook group, they'll say, hey, Christine's in India. She's been developing a whole product line for years, and she's trying really hard to develop. She's been all over India. She's gone back here, and she's traveling to Vietnam now. And look, she's really developing, and this is her reason. This is her why. And I think that's much more shareable than just a logo and a brand. Even if it looks really good, there's no story. You want to document. You want to share. Right? So you can share your journey. It could even be your personal blog. A lot of people have really powerful personal blogs. Like one of my stories is when I first came to China in 2007, I documented quitting my job on Wall Street. It's mikesblog.com. It bothered me that I was getting way more customers for my sourcing business because I had shadstonesourcing.com and I had Google Ads and a lead form, and the better customers I got were ones from my personal blog. They were like, oh, Mike, look, you're in China. Look, you're like lost. Look, you ate some bad food and got food poisoning. Can you help me source from China? Can you help do business for me? Right? But the ones I was doing Google AdWords with, maybe I was on the About page, but it was more like a complete business thing. I had like a landing page, but people connected more with my personal blog. And whether it's a product business, service business, maybe you could even start your own personal blog, just talking about your trip to India and other things, and that you're developing this product and fill out this survey, or which one do you like? And then boosting with AI. So this is write a 300-word email to an angry customer about his broken product with our no questions asked guarantee in a tone of a medieval king of England. So again, it's a little hard to see, but basically it says, my esteemed customer's name. Hail and well met. Your name, Mike, the sovereign of your company, Excalibur Brothers, have received thy missive expressing great dismay over the unfortunate state of thy product purchased. Verily, I extend my deepest apologies to the vexation thou hast endured. It pains me greatly to learn of such a distress with my kingdom. And it goes on and on. But I've done this. I mess with people, actually. I actually like to do this more when I have an angry person. And so I reply to them in these tones. Like one time, my Philippine VAs all had no power in Davao. So I said, write a letter to the Philippines government from the king of the same guy, that why the power is not working in the city. And it's the same. And I said, can you send this to your government people? And they were laughing. But it's so easy. All you got is tone. Just tones, right? So we can use this in Excalibur Brothers. And with AI, it's so amazing, because it was really hard to do this before AI. We did this before AI in some of our branding. But now it's so easy. You can just say it in the tone of famous people, writers. It's just amazing. Comparisons are good. So we're in India. This one's made in Thailand. But I think, which one would you choose? You don't even need to read the rest. But most are made in China, right? Like most of the top 50 on this listing of this grass is from China. We're the only ones from Thailand. So you can put that with India or other things, right? But I'm a little bit scared. We're a little bit scared that the Chinese competitors will black hat attack us and negative review us. We're a little bit scared. But you don't have to use that comparison, but comparisons in general are really good. It shows why are you better than your competitor. Maybe you don't put their competitor brand name, but I think you can even put your competitor's brand name. But you could just say versus competitors and put some reasons why you think you're better. It could be, of course, the product. It could be part of the story. It could be part of the environmental part, right? The different reasons. And hopefully this matches your brand and your voice. Packaging. So I would drive with my dad. I had to beg him to go to Toys R Us to buy the latest video game. He's like, damn, Japanese are taking over, making these video games, and you're just buying the packaging for like $70. And I was always talking about packaging. You're always paying for packaging. Just buying packaging. But it is true. I think branding is packaging, right? Packaging, I think, is very, very important. So this is our Excalibur Brothers packaging layout. And it's medieval feeling. This is the castle, brown outside. And this is red in carpet. We opened the red carpet for you. That's part of the story, right? And then we try to use that medieval tone in our messaging. And we put insert cards that says thou not art happy with thou product. The royal servants are waiting for you at your beckoning call. I actually had to work really hard to make those before AI, because we started just before AI. But you should it's so much fun. You can use this in your story. What's your story? Why are you doing this? Why are you better than your competitors?
Why are you better than your competitors? Tell us.
In this one?
Yeah.
Well, we work hard to be a gift product. So and most of our products are made in China. And it's really funny, one of our top products is the flask, a men's drinking flask. And our competitors sell it for they sell 3 for the same price we sell 1. And they stack a 3-pack, a 5-pack. We have a 1-pack, and ours is $35, and they sell 3 for $30, something like that. But the customers love the packaging. And I don't think I have it in the slides, but I also use joinbrands.com, and I get photos made with they're not really influencers, but you can use they make photos or videos with your product. And we specifically had one where the woman that we picked, used her, I don't know if it's a boyfriend or husband, but it was a 2-picture pack. One was opening it, and the second was the man kissing her on the cheek, her smiling with the product. But we really work hard to be a gift company. The experience, the packaging, I think it's hard to, I think packaging, like my dad said, well, of course our quality, we really make sure the quality spec is good too, and we are pretty strict on our standards of quality.
I think the whole story about the language and the medieval, that's a differentiator, right?
Yeah, the medieval part, and I mean the listing, I could dig into it, or I could show you throughout the conference. We have a template for how we make our listings, so we're consistent too. Consistency, so you should have some kind of a format of how you're going to communicate to your customer, how you're going to lay out and actually I have a really good branding partner, Luciano and EB, but other brands I don't have maybe his ability, but we still make templates, use templates, because you want to be consistent. You don't want to look different. You want the person to look at your listing, your storefront, your website, your other listing, and feel it's the same style. So there's some people that don't like it. Like, I can think of one review I got that we have a watch roll, like a luxury watch roll. It's like a 3-watch. And he's like, I love the product, but you're a little bit overdoing it with the medieval time style, something like that. But he still gave us a 5-star. But he was just saying he thinks it's overdone. But customer avatar is, we are targeting when we did the whole brand experience, we're targeting, a lot of times this gets people like me, but like kind of like the new rich or the new tech people that like new money, but also like people that it's the hero. It's the hero. We're trying to, there's different ways of doing branding and stories, but we're trying to do the person that's like saving others and strong. Like this is our image. So being a leader and our slogan is welcome to your kingdom. And the idea is we are in a new world, but we like the old feeling of like royalty and power and strength. And I guess a lot of, like even my son like Dungeons and Dragons now. He's 10 and he wants Dungeons and Dragons. But it kind of like I guess he's like a geek too, like the geek that wants to be strong, that maybe in school was kind of picked on, and now they're like successful and they want to like show that they have this power or this success. So back to packaging. Packaging is crazy because we're selling on e-commerce. Back on eBay, I didn't even do packaging. It was in a poly bag. But now, especially Amazon or the new 2024, you have to use good packaging, and I feel like just for the main image, just that main image. So like this is one of our Excalibur brothers, but just packaging. And we've tested it. Some of our team members think like, oh, this takes up too much space, and we remove this. But sales drops. We put it back. The packaging with the main image really works. Our competitors mostly don't use packaging, but it really helps pop it out. It looks at difference on the search results, but we really work hard to make sure it's in the main image. Other brands, this is one Akatai jewelry, but it's actually not that expensive here. It's reasonable. You don't have to go so crazy. Another hack about packaging is you could make it so you could use all different styles. If your product's just got maybe different variations of colors or other variations, you could use just a generic package and just change the sticker. So you don't have to go crazy making so many different types of packaging. Just have like one master package. Or another hack, somebody's asking me if they have, maybe in India you want to get like 20 different products to test. You could just have a white box and put a sticker on it. But the sticker doesn't have to just be one sticker. It could be a whole rectangular sticker that's a full package. And just put it over top of the box. So you don't have to have a huge MOQ for custom packaging. So you could start with stickers and then move up to like real custom packaging. Even here, so this is the Asato one. It's not as much branding as the Excalibur Brothers, but we still show the box. And actually our partner is the factory owner, and he's Norwegian. And Northern Europeans are not as creative. He's like, this is not needed. He made us, because we're partners, he's like, remove this. This is just extra space. Sales dropped. That's the only thing that changed. Put it back, sales backed up. We're in like number 1 for this. It's one of our main products. It's a shelf mat for like putting your glass, and then the water comes. And that's like one of our best products in the brand. But that picture helps with that package. Okay. And then the dried flowers that got lost in the inbound shipment, it was found recently. But this picture, right? This is our package. But if you notice, I did it purposely. I helped kind of. I'm not a graphic designer, but I give my instructions. So my instructions was to make a window on the top half. And notice it doesn't say this style, because you can dye these many different colors. You can make them purple, pink, green, right? So I did the window on purpose when I designed my packaging, because I want to have many different variations, and I don't want to have tons of different packages, right? And it pops, because the competitors don't do this. And actually, we're getting reviews. This is just brand new. You can look it up, plumberpots.com. It's on Vine right now. It's got 3 or 4 reviews. Just went finally live last week. But people are commenting about the packaging. We also have a warranty program. People think so quality, we have a warranty program. But I think it's not just trying to get their email address, but you're trying to look like you're a legitimate professional company that has a warranty program. It's part of your image. Inserts are not just to try to like get email addresses, but they're trying to show that you're a professional company. It's a way to communicate to your customer that we care about you. If there's something wrong, it's not just give me a 5-star review on Amazon, which we don't ask for. It's to build a relationship with them, to make sure that you care. You're a complete package, right? You have nice packaging. You have a nice insert card. It's about showing you care. So AI images are great. Again, this theme is like standing out in 2024, right? So that's me, as you can tell. And these are some, Megla saw this, I think. This is some new software, but it can change yourself. And maybe you don't want to be on the brand, or maybe you don't think you're matching your target customer. You could flip it to different styles. So this is Snook. She's Thai on our team, and she's now this. Before, after, or after. Yeah, it's my friend's proprietary software. He's in China, Can. I'm not trying to pitch, but I think he does like a $300 package for like 30 images. It works out to be at $10 to $15 per image, but he doesn't do it single. You got to buy a pack. Some people think they can do it with, but I think more and more AI is going to be able to do this.
You could do it with Midjourney.
I think you can do this with others.
The problem with Midjourney is that I spoke to Cam actually when I was in Thailand, and also did a follow-up call.
Oh, great.
It was so interesting. So I mean, what he was saying is that you don't have standard models like faces. Every time you generate a new image, you'll get a new face.
Yeah.
But what they have done is that they've got standard models. So you could actually use the same model for your product, and that works really well for apparel. He's mostly doing it for apparel.
Yeah.
And he's got like, so you can actually have a face of your brand, and that consistently use the same model throughout your brand. So that's one of the USPs, right?
Yeah, the consistency.
Then the workaround is that you do you have that first face that you like, but then you make new bodies with a different face, but you face swap it with people art.
Yeah, no, I think face swap is this tech. I mean, I think basically tech is it's going really fast. So whether you use whatever software, but the point is AI is going to make this more and more able to be done. And there's AI influencers now. There's totally fake Instagram accounts that are not real people.
I'm learning how to make that. That's why I know a little about it.
Yeah, that's called face swap is the keyword.
Yeah.
There's software and stuff that does this.
Yeah, and then the voice, you can make them have voice.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. Yeah, it's super fun.
No, but it's definitely the future. I mean, it's more consistent, because if you pay an influencer and they don't do it, or they disappear, or they don't want to work with you anymore, but if you have this AI, you can use it infinitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So Again, I can dig in with everybody throughout the week on any of these. I'm just kind of going fast because I want to kind of go through a lot and get inspired. So the foundation, I don't know how much time, I feel like I'm almost at my, do I have more, I'm over time, right? I know, let's just keep going. So the funnel, basically a funnel, we talked about this on the way to dinner. A funnel, I hope everybody knows, but there's top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So top is like maybe awareness. You shouldn't just directly, I use these bad examples, but you don't try to take your date home on the first night, right? You build a relationship. You go to dinner or you get the phone number, right? But usually if you go up to somebody at a nightclub and you say, what's your phone number and can we go home now? They're not going to, it's a joke, but I mean, people do this in business. People do this in business, right? They think that's totally crazy to do in a romantic relationship, but they think it's totally fine in a business relationship. Buy my product, right? That's almost the same thing, right? You're like trying to go to home base with me on the first, like, you don't try to sell right away. You try to build a relationship. You try to build trust. You try to build awareness. Try to get people to remember what you want. Teach them, build or connect with them. So you do that. So Amazon gives you all these tools. You just got to get a trademark. And you get a storefront. So this is a storefront. This is a storefront page. This is the home page. So I list, you can look at it, Amazon.com/Excalibur Brothers. And on the home page, we list the image and then we just try to drive them into different products. And then we don't send them directly to the listing. This is the listing. We send them to another storefront page of that specific product that we then write out all the description of again, and then we send them to the listing. And people think that's an extra step, but the reason I do that is to get them to be sold on my product. Because on your listing, competitor, all over the listing. Storefront is only you. So you're trying to sell them and build a relationship with them and get them to buy your product so that when they, again, back to dating, you build this relationship at the bar, you go on a dance floor, hopefully they don't leave you for another option, right? But if you take them directly to the dance floor before you build a relationship, they might just go for another person on a dance floor. But you're trying to build a relationship before you start dancing so that they're sold. You try to build a relationship. So you're just building this relationship so that by the time they go to buy, they already are sold.
So when you do your Amazon ad, you were driving them to the Excalibur Brothers page.
Yeah, storefronts.
They don't get the storefront. Okay, got it.
Because you have full control, you have full branding opportunities. I know I have Amazon representative here. I did this slide. I talked about this in Thailand. And then the funniest story was the global selling team came up to me after the next day, the general manager of the Thailand office in Bangkok. She says, "Oh, sorry I missed your speech last night, but my team told me you said on the stage that you had a problem with something on your listing." I was like, "Yeah, I have a problem on my listing. It's my competitors' advertisements are all over it. Can you help get rid of all my competitors on my listing?" Yeah. This is just basically, you're trying to drive affiliate or blog or social media. It doesn't matter what it really is called, but you're trying to maybe drive traffic here to then send it to the listing. You're trying to build the relationship with them so that they don't get distracted or have another choice later. The same here. You're just basically using this top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. And just another point, storefront to listing. But just look at that, right? This is our storefront. You can look at it right now if you on your computer phone. But look, it's like our images, right? It's nice. And then it sends it to the listing, which is, of course, we have EBC. It doesn't show here, but it's not as nice, in my opinion. Back to funnels. They're basically a point, whether it's an Amazon storefront page or your website or whatever, content and awareness, product details, educating, differentiating, and then sell. Like either it's the Amazon listing, the shopping cart, the buy now button, but you're not trying to go directly here. You're trying to kind of bring them down. And then there are also more tools you get with the storefront. You can see some traffic sources, where they're coming from and what's working, what's selling. There's much more data you get on the storefront than a listing page from the Amazon's tools. And then Amazon attribution is another feature many people don't use, but you can make all kinds of different links and measure what traffic sources are working. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but we make a spreadsheet. So this is architized product files. So we list them out, and then we have like Amazon link, websites, Facebooks, Instagrams, TikToks. So you're trying to see which of these channels is working for me. Which one's driving the most traffic, which one's driving the most sales. Again, everything is a funnel. And when you think about it, your whole life is a funnel. If you start thinking about everything is a funnel. Affiliates, so like a little quick hack. You can go to promotions. You can create a percentage off discount. We have the slides, but basically you can give a discount. And the main point of this, don't show it on your listing page. There's an option to display page, display text. Turn this off, because you don't want to show this coupon to everybody. You only want to show this coupon to people you invite. And then you can contact a blogger. Somebody's talking about Amazon affiliate program. They might already get Amazon affiliate money, but you can give them additional money on top, because you can track their sales if you give them a unique coupon. Plus they can get an additional discount on your product. So you could say, hey, if you can make a video or a TikTok or a blog or update your blog, and I can give you like Megla 456 or something, and say, use my coupon code. And then to save 15%, you can tell your customers to save 15%, and that will give you more sales, because people will more likely convert on your sales page. And then I also could give you an additional plus your affiliate income from Amazon. So then you go to paid, but basically it's all about funnels, whether it's organic, whether it's you sharing your story about your brand on your blog, or whether it's paying for traffic. Websites, I think you need them. This is our Cistano one. Sometimes you even make blogs to each avatar. So you can make a guide or a blog post for maybe college students, the parents, the gift guides, right? Gifts for your college student. We were targeting college kids that wanted to have a traditional coffee experience, not Starbucks, at their dorm. It's a portable way to make coffee. Landing pages are money. So basically the difference of a landing pages usually you make private. So you can make a public landing page, but usually they're private that you only send traffic to. So whether it's a product, a service, whatever, you make it hidden, and then you send people to that special page with a special offer, talking to that specific person coming from that specific place. Like maybe India sourcing trip people can come and get a special discount. You can make a custom page for that traffic or for that person. So one thing people do in a launch is they drop the price a lot, although I don't recommend going this low anymore. With Amazon, it's not as effective as it used to be. But you give a special discount, and then you give them the coupon. But to get the coupon, they've got to give you an email, and then you are catching 3 things here. You get the pixel to retarget on ads, you get their email to retarget them, and then you hopefully get them to buy your product. So you're getting all this data. Again, I'm going fast. And boosting ads. So this is like an ad. It's in the slides, so you can copy it. But basically, we're trying to target specific people, give them a special discount with a special coupon to try to measure that advertisement. But it's a lot of work. It's difficult. But this is what you're doing, is you're making multiple different traffic channels, testing those traffic channels, measuring which ones are converting, and then focusing on what works. Don't focus on what doesn't work. You can see it's Facebook ad. I don't personally do these. I have people that do these. But I could give you the basics of this. But basically, you're just doing different types of ads with different types of strategies and budgets, and you're trying to measure what's working. But it's all a funnel. And then CTA is called a call to action. What are you trying to get somebody to do? What's the purpose of them going to the page? Normally, subscribe to a list, get the pixel for retargeting, or maybe make a sale. But you can do all 3, as I mentioned. You could catch the email, make them get an email to get a coupon, get their pixel, and hopefully get them to buy your product. So I finished that. I went really fast, and I could spend time with you all here. I think I'm over time. But this is a bamboo forest, and I just like to end this because I'm in Asia, but a bamboo forest, the cool thing about a bamboo forest is for years it takes time to grow this network, but you don't see anything. It's growing underground. But suddenly they all start to shoot up. And then you have this huge forest out of nowhere, and you're like, where does bamboo forest come from? But it took years or a long time to bake the foundation. So I know I overwhelmed you, but just pick a couple of these and just start to build your foundation. Once you have the foundation, the rest is just gonna come up with you as you go. So that's it. Actually, there's more, but that's the main part of the slides. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and also check out our Instagram at Global from Asia. Thanks again, and see you soon.
E-commerce, like over 8 years.